Hello everyone, my name is Dakoba and welcome back to Satisfactory. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new features of the map in Satisfactory Update 6. Now the map is unlocked in the field research milestone of Tier 1, which means you get it very early in the game. Prior to Update 6, the map was unlocked very late in the game as part of the Quartz research tree, which really limited its usefulness since you'd generally done most of your exploring before you even unlocked it. Nowadays it is much more useful. Now you can open the map by pressing M, which will present you with a topographical map of the area immediately surrounding your character. Topographical map indicates the shape of the landscape, and each of the lines represents a single point of elevation. So spaces where the lines are widely spaced out or evenly spaced represents a very smooth gradient, and where the lines are very close together represents a much steeper elevation change, as you can see with some of these cliffs over here. Now, in addition to being able to see the area around you, you can also pin the map with stamps and markers. A marker is a sort of detailed indicator on the map, which you can create by clicking the new map marker and then clicking where you want to place something. So for example, we may want to place something here, and you can see that the new marker dialog box pops up. This allows you to name the marker, which is useful for adding notes about what you see there. So I happen to know that this location has some steam vents, right? So we might name this steam vents. And then we can also change the icon on it. So we can mark that this is water. We can select the color on it, give it a nice blue color there. And we can also choose how large it appears on the map, as well as how close we have to be in order to see it on our compass. So you can see that, or that marker will now appear on our compass. We can also highlight the marker, which will allow us to create this beacon of light in the world, which makes it much easier to find when you're in a dense forest or otherwise approaching an area, figuring out where you need to go specifically. Now, map markers are generally going to be used for more permanent things that you want to make a note of, and they're particularly good when you need to include notes. So things like the number and purity of resource nodes, or what items are required to open a drop pod. So for example, there's a drop pod just down there, and we may want to put a map marker on it indicating that it requires power to open. This one requires power to open. Now, one way that we can place a map marker on something without sort of knowing where it's at is to ping the map. By holding the Alt key and clicking will create a ping on the map. This is a temporary marker that's visible to everybody online in multiplayer, but will persist for a few seconds if you open the map. So if we ping the map and then open our map, we can go ahead and place a map marker in that location. We can say that this is a drop pod that takes 30 megawatts, and that will indicate to us what that is, and we can come back to it. Once we've cleared that drop pod, we may want to delete that marker, but now we have not only the location, but also a note of what's there. The other type of pin you can place is a stamp, and the stamps can be placed by clicking on the icons at the bottom of the map, sort of signaling what you're looking at. So for example, maybe we want to make a note of those resource nodes across the way there. Well, we can see that they're just up on the ledge over there, so we can take our pin and place it just like so. And now there's a pin indicating where that limestone node is at right there. You can also place pins from the overworld view by holding the left Alt key and right clicking. This will actually pull up the pin dialog, and so this allows you to add additional stamps to the map. Now again, stamps are lighter weight, they're quicker to place, they don't have the ability to have information about them, but this makes them really well suited for marking points of interest that you mean to explore and exploit at a later time. So things like unexplored drop pods or lizard doggo spawns, or these resource nodes that we haven't really gotten a chance to sort of see what they are. There is another new feature of the map, which is unlocked much later in the game. So if you're trying to avoid spoilers, you may want to stop here. But that is how the map interacts with the radio tower. The radio tower is a late game building unlocked in the Fortress tree, and when you place a radio tower, it'll reveal the map in a large area around it. I've gone ahead and placed a radio tower over here on the map, and you can see that it created this sort of large circular area where things are revealed. Among other things, it'll reveal the location and purity of any resource nodes within its radius. So we can see that there are, 3 coal nodes over here, and that they're all pure. These will also be marked with whether or not you have placed a harvester on them, so you can identify unused nodes as well as used nodes. Now, selecting the radar tower itself will give you an overview of everything in its radius. Now, given how large of an area they are, the flora and fauna indicators aren't particularly useful, but the number of alien artifacts, slugs, and hard drives will actually reduce as you pick up those items, so you can gather up all of the items in an area and be sure that you have sort of cleared out that section of the map when those numbers reach 0. And that is tremendously helpful. Overall, I think the map is probably one of the most useful things that they've released so far in Update 6, and I love what they've done with it. I've been making extensive use of it in my playthrough, and I hope you guys are able to as well. That's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this quick overview of the new features to the map in Satisfactory Update 6. Leave a like if you have, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. My name is Dakoba, and I hope you have an efficient day. I'll see you soon.